Hello, welcome you all on this discussion of important topic foreign exchange exposure and risk. See, wherever exposure is increased, the risk also increases along with it. And as far as foreign exchange is considered, you are well known with the fact that when India opened its economy and further increased the quantum of trade and commerce with the vicinal as well as far-flung countries, the concept of foreign exchange began to improve and began to increase its quantum in the economic scenario of India as well as of the whole world. Okay, students, before beginning and before increasing the deeper concept, I would like you to know what are the important types of foreign exchange exposure. See, whenever a country, it may be India or it may be any country of the world, is exposed to the rest of the world, an economy exposed to the rest of the world is perhaps subjected to the exposure of foreign exchange. The three important types of foreign exchange exposure we will deal one by one. The types are the transaction exposure, economic exposure, translational exposure. Let us see one by one what is all the three. First of all, we will deal with the transaction exposure. This is the effect of exchange rate fluctuation on the value of anticipated cash flows denominated in home or functional currency terms relating to transaction already entered into a foreign currency term. Transaction exposure may arise due to the conversion of currency in order to firstly to make or receive payment from import or export and services. The goods or services being imported or exported result into the transactional exposure of a currency. Second, repay a loan. While you are repaying the loan back, you are subjected to a transactional exposure. Further, next point is make interest payment or to pay dividends. Whenever you pay interest to the loan, you are subjected to transactional exposure. Next, we will discuss how the transaction exposure arises due to various transactions denominated in a foreign currency, including foreign currency denominated assets also. A country which may be, let's say, India based, or the home country of the company be India, then it may have assets in certain other foreign countries. Then what will the company see? The country will see the foreign assets to be denominated in foreign currency. If it is situated in a Gulf country, let's say it is denominated in dirham. If it is situated in, let's say, Britain, it will be denominated in British pound. Likewise in American dollar, etc. The export receivables of bank deposits, liabilities, especially account payables or loans. And next, revenues. What are revenues? Expected future sales, etc. may be resulting into the revenues. And expenses may include expected purchases of goods. whatever you are expected to purchase in the near future, that may all be accounted into expenses. Or income may be in the form of dividends, what you receive on the shares. Okay, further, the transactional exposure may arise due to other factors, such as an exporting firm has a transaction exposure from the time it accepts an export order till the time the payment is received and converted into the domestic or functional currency. Thus, a company which is exporting makes exchange gain if a currency has appreciated between the receivables booked and the payments received, and exchange loss if the currency has depreciated. I mean, there is a time lag between a booked order and later on the supply of that order. Between this time lag, the currency in which the payment is to be made for the receivables is subjected to appreciation or depreciation. Let's say if it has depreciated, the exposure will result into a loss as a risk. Otherwise, if it has appreciated, it may result into the other way. Furthermore, how we will see one more example in this account how the transaction exposure may arise. The strategies used to manage the transaction exposure, including hedging with the financial instruments, forward, future or option markets, and hedging with the contract invoice such as home currency and mixed currency, and thus the price escalation clause is always appreciated to be added. Further, let's move ahead and say something about the next type. The next exposure is economic exposure. See, the effect of exchange rate, the fluctuations on a firm future operating cash flows, that is its future cost and revenues, is termed as operating exposure. Let's see it in detail. Any business enterprise whose revenue and costs are affected by the currency fluctuation has operating exposure even if it solely operates domestically and has all its cash flows denominated in the home currency. How? Let us see how. This is called the economic exposure. In technical terms, both the operating and the transaction exposures equal a firm's economic exposure, but the economic exposure assesses the effect of exchange rate changes on the future revenue, cost, cash flows and profit of the firm. The economic exposure refers to the effect of the present value of future cash flows influenced by the anticipated changes in the exchange rates. There may be macroeconomic factors such as unexpected changes in the inflation rates, and interest rates may also be resulting into the economic exposure. The economic exposure of a firm is determined by the localization of the product input and export orientation, flexibility in the pricing, and the firm's ability to shift the production sourcing of input among different countries. Further, the strategies used to manage the economic exposure, finally, initiatives such as leads and lags, netting, etc., may be taken into account apart from the production initiatives such as the input outsourcing in the same currency. What is lead? You would ask me, because the lead is an important point to be understood here. Lead basically refers to making payment early by using soft currency to pay the hard currency debt before the soft currency drops its value. Okay? Conversely, lag is just opposite of it. Lag refers to paying late when a firm holds a hard currency with the debts denominated in the soft currency, which decelerates by paying late. Next, the mechanism of matching a firm's foreign currency into the inflows with its foreign currency outflows in respect of the amount of currency unit and timing is termed as matching. This was all about the economic exposure. Now we will move ahead to translational exposure. See, the translational exposure is also known as accounting exposure. Why? Because the translational exposure arises due to the conversion or translation of a financial statement of foreign subsidiaries and affiliated denominated foreign currencies into the consolidated financial statement of a multinational enterprise (MNCs) in its functional or home currency. See, the fluctuations in the exchange rate affect the earnings of the subsidiaries, because when the exchange rates fluctuate, the earning of the subsidiaries in different countries are also deferred by an amount, and the translated amount into the consolidated income statement is also fluctuated. The translational exposure depends upon the share of a firm business from overseas operations, the location of foreign subsidiary, and accounting methods used. Further, you will find that the risk is also associated with the exposure. As soon as you increase the exposure, the risk also increases simultaneously. Let us see one by one what are the risks associated with the transaction, translation, or economic risk. See, the assets and liabilities or cash flows of an enterprise that are determined in the foreign currency undergo a change in the value as measured in the domestic currency. This was all we dealt about earlier. This was over a period of time because of variation into the exchange rate. The variability in the value of assets and liabilities or cash flows is referred as exchange rate risk. Let us see when the value and the maturity dates of assets and liabilities as well as claims and counterclaims in the foreign currency are all matched against each other, then there is no net exposure. If everything is matching, then there is no net exposure, and if no net exposure, in such a situation there would be no foreign exchange risk. But the situation is otherwise when we go on changing it, when these things do not match each other. Let us see how. The transaction risk is related to either a trade transaction, that is export and import. Secondly, the financial operations such as borrowings and lending in the foreign currency. Thirdly, payments or receipts of the dividends and interests. Okay? In other words, we can say the transaction exposure occurs when a company is committed to a foreign currency denominated transaction. The next is translational or consolidated risk. This is relating to assets and liabilities of a balance sheet denominated in the foreign currency. The consolidation accounts when it uses a rate of exchange to transform the account of a foreign subsidiary. The denominated in the foreign currency The domestic currency of a parent company. See, the domestic currency as well as foreign currency is having translation into one and another. As a matter of fact, the investors and the financial institutions, the investor and the financial institutions have an interest in knowing the consolidated position of the whole group in the domestic currency, because the see, the whatsoever is invested, it may be in the form of FDI or FII. Foreign direct investment, the investors are directly related. FII, foreign investing institutions, the institutions take care of the interest of the investors. In both the situations, the financial institutions as well as the investors both have interest in knowing the consolidated position of the company in the domestic currency. That's what they are concerned about. Thus it matters. But let the next is economic risk or operating exposure. The economic risk or economic exposure refers to the impact of exchange rate changes on future cash flows of company. For this, the reason the exposure is also known as long-term cash flow exposure. The economic risk can be defined as the variability in the company's present value. Company's present value is changing. The variability in the company's present value caused by the uncertain change in exchange rate. The unexpected changes what occurs in the exchange rate. Since the operating exposure is related to company's future, the company's future is much dependent upon the operating exposure. The revenues and the costs measuring it requires a long-term perspective. Viewed in this perspective, a company faces operating exposure whenever it is subjected to foreign competition, when it is sourcing the raw material or other input from abroad. The measurement of operating exposure is difficult, as it is not possible to ignore the effect of inflation while considering the impact of the change of exchange rate. As a consequence, this exposure cannot be hedged with the solely through the financial hedging techniques. It would thus require the long-term operating adjustments. Further, this all is concluded with my words that as long as you increase the exposure, the risk is increased, and counterpart is also true. Okay, thank you all for listening me with so much patience. I thanks to the investors, I thank to the students and future entrepreneurs for such a nice discussion with me. And I call it a discussion because I always welcome comments in the comment box. Please do comment whatever you feel, whatever you like in the video, or whatever more you like to from me to be known. If it is possible, I would answer you in the comment box. If not possible at the moment, or if it would require a detailed explanation, I would certainly come up with a new video for that. Once again, thank you all for so much patience, so much deliberation from your side. Thank you.